Hey everyone, it's been a minute since the last time I actually shared anything about my bullet journal and planning process, and over the past year, honestly, I haven't really been doing much of this because my number one focus and priority was on my physical health and being able to recover from my car accident last year that it's not as dramatic as it sounds. If you're interested in learning more about my recovery process and what's been going on the past year, let me know and I can make a video on it. Normally at the beginning of spring is when I start to feel more energized to get back into planning and being able to be a bit more motivated and energized and inspired to share the things that I'm doing to keep working towards my goals and be able to attain them overall. Let's go ahead and just kind of hop in. I already completed the spread for April. This is my cover page. I do a bit more of a minimal style overall. I like doing a style that's more natural, and so for example for March I like doing something more with just nature elements of some sort or other. And then the first thing that I have entered in here is my monthly goals page. This is where I do have a project planner and I have set goals for 30, 60, 90 days out, pretty much per quarter, and with April being at the beginning of a new quarter, going to be filling these out and working towards some long-term goals. I will be filling out with 3 separate life areas and then highlighting 3 specific prioritized goals within those, so that way I can properly track where I want to get to, the plan I'm going to use to do it, and then where I am at the end of the month, and then any notes in order to assess if I'm creating proper attainable goals or if I'm making them too easy or anything like that. So in that way I can be able to maximize my efficiency and productivity with attaining and going for my goals going forward. Other than that, the first thing I like to have is just a simple page with throwing any tasks or notes that come up through the month. This is more so actionable items and things that will have to get done at some point, so that way I have somewhere to throw it. But yeah. Next 2 spreads, one is actually for thoughts and ideas. It kind of sounds like tasks and notes. However, what's different is this is more of the creative stuff. Things that I think of that I think would be fun to try out, to do, whether it's for my business or just in general something I want to try, and just random blurbs that pop in my head. And then I have my habit tracker spread, and I've done this multiple different ways, but I'm finding I actually really enjoy having the mini calendars for each habit, and I haven't written them in yet, but highlighting my habits, and then I just really like putting the little dots. And the first time I did it was actually back in February. I just really enjoyed this overall and just kind of the layout, and so I decided I wanted to continue doing it this way, and so that is where we got to over here. And yeah, I'm excited to use that. Next up, I have my overview of the entire month. I decided I wanted to do it this way and not just have a simple list of things, because I very much like the visual aspect. I like being able to just see it on a layout. That's the same reason why I have a project planner that the same thing with being able to list out things and actively see the timeline. Anyone else who is a visual learner and everything else, these materials are definitely really helpful. But yeah, so I haven't filled this in yet, but looking forward to doing so, and pretty simple, straightforward. And then for the next one, this is going to be carrying over from my monthly goals page, and then pretty much for my planning. This is kind of my planning page, where it's more specifically related for professional and business growth. And I'm doing this because, as I said, the past year, a lot of the things that I was working on was specifically for my physical well-being, And I'm just thankfully now at a place that I can start to refocus on the other priorities that I've been carrying at the time of my accident, including building my business. And this is where we're over here. I'm going to have things listed out of when things are due. Going to have this filled out with deadlines per week. So this will be like each week showing the deadlines of things that need to be done. And then from there, the specific tasks I need to do in general, whether it be for the different deadlines coming up, upcoming tasks that present themselves, and just things I need to be aware of specifically for my business and everything related to that. And then after that, it gets into the weekly spreads. And so this is the weekly spread that I've been using currently. I actually am really liking this breakdown. I need a bit more space every single day so I can make notes, and I like add specific to-dos on the day itself. And I also like to have 4 separate categories for tracking things and just maintaining mindfulness and self-awareness of how I'm spending my time and efforts and everything else. My goals will be pulled from both my business planning page as well as the monthly goals. And then from there, it will help to highlight and show priorities. Once again, the priorities will be grabbed from my business page as needed. The to-do space is for anything that comes up through the week that I need to do. So that way I can keep track of it. And then as I'm going through my daily doings, I'm able to then grab from the to-do list as necessary. I have over here also a completed area. And that's because I have been feeling very unproductive the past year, and I believe that it's good to have an area to track your accomplishments and like the things that you complete on a weekly basis to help maintain motivation and to help show that you are doing things even if sometimes it doesn't feel like you are. Especially when there are so many things to get done, it can be very easy to get lost and overwhelmed by everything that needs to happen, seeing it all at once. And so being able to have an area where you can track every little thing that you complete, even and especially too, like if you don't have a lot of things going on and you just feel like you're wasting every day, I highly recommend having a completed section, accomplishments, whatever you want to label it. I highly recommend this because we should be able to celebrate our wins regardless of the size. We should be able to celebrate the things that we do for the simple fact of doing it and applying ourselves for our well-being or for helping someone else, being able to grow things, being able to create things, anything like that. And then, so with that, I will be filling in weekly as I go, but I like to go 1 week at a time because I'm also doing stream of consciousness journaling. And so I like to just have blank page, so in that way it's not about the formatting, it's not about the aesthetic, it's specifically about grabbing a pen and just writing and throwing everything in my head down on paper. That is another thing that I've been doing to help stay productive and be able to stay focused and not get overwhelmed by the different things, to get distracted by the things I'm excited about, to look too far into the future and then forget what needs to happen now in order to get to that stage. And so that's pretty much it at this point. This is the beginning of the month. If you're interested in having a review at the end of the month to see how these spreads worked out and then how I continue to build them through the month, let me know. I'd be happy to do so. That's everything I have for you this time. I hope your April is off to a great start and also that you're all staying safe no matter where you are. Until next time, bye.